What is up guys, and welcome to the Chelsea squad prediction of 2016 and 17. So I know that I've done this video a few weeks ago and then apparently it wasn't very realistic. So I decided to make a new one over here. This is the more refreshed one, and then we're gonna have a look at who Conte is gonna sell or buy. So let's gonna start off with every video. Who is Conte gonna sell? So I'm just gonna put in the players that has been linked with a lot of clubs lately, and we're gonna start off this video with Matic. So Matic, obviously Mourinho went to United, and Matic has been connected with United, and apparently Matic wants to leave Chelsea for United. So I could definitely see Matic leaving, since like Mourinho was the one who brought him to Chelsea like as a second time in like few years ago. So I can see Matic leaving, maybe. And moving on, someone who might leave. I don't want this person to leave, so I'm not gonna put him in. So I'm just gonna talk about him. Azpilicueta is connected with Atletico Bilbao or Barcelona. For him, I really don't want Azpilicueta to leave because he is one of the hardest working players in Chelsea, and I really want him to stay. He's that crucial player in Chelsea. So, well, I really think Azpilicueta is gonna leave anyway. So I'm not gonna put him in the sell list. But we're going to move on, and then this person is connected as well. Diego Costa is connected with Atletico Madrid. Now, I'm just not sure if this one's going to happen as well, because, well, even though Diego Costa wasn't in his best form last season, like the first season he came, he scored a decent amount of goals. So I guess for Costa that is pretty good, and I don't really think he's going to leave anyway, but I put him since he's like connected quite a bit. And then the next player is Oscar. Now, for Oscar, I'm just not too sure about this guy. Like, he's good sometimes. I'm gonna agree with that. He's good sometimes, but then he's like kind of inconsistent, and I'm not sure if Chelsea should really keep him, because I know apparently some clubs are trying to sign him. I'm just not sure if Oscar's gonna be really helpful to Chelsea anymore, even though he is good sometimes. The next player is gonna be Remy, who is connected with number of Russian clubs. So I don't know, Remy hasn't been the best player of Chelsea last season, and then when he got on, he couldn't make that good impact like how he used to be in last season when Chelsea won the league. Remy didn't really deliver that, so I think Remy's gonna leave as well. He probably wants some more game time as well, so we're just gonna get them out over here. Just gonna remove them. I'm not sure about Costa. I may add him to the squad. I'm just not sure if Costa's gonna leave. But starting off with some strikers. So this really depends on if Costa is gonna leave or stay. If Costa stays, then I think Costa will be the starting striker for Chelsea. But if Costa doesn't stay, then I think Morata is gonna be in the place. Or Morata or Beswashi is also connected with, oops, spelled his name wrong, also connected with Chelsea. Morata, he's got a lot of potential. He only scored 7 goals in Serie A last season, but he's a young player. He's definitely got that potential that Chelsea probably needs as well. And apparently Morata doesn't really want to go to Arsenal. He's more connected with United or Chelsea. I'm not sure, but Morata could definitely be there. I see a good possibility of Morata going there. On the left wing though, we're going to have Eden Hazard. Now obviously he hasn't been the best player, but you know, near the end of the season he got that form back, and we really needed that. That's how we managed to get some game up. You know, we drew with Tottenham, Hazard with a very good goal, amazing finish. So I think Hazard is definitely going to stay at Chelsea. Chelsea's definitely not going to sell Hazard, one of the best performing players near the end of the season. But moving on, we got Willian. Probably I say he was the best player for Chelsea last season. We know Chelsea was obviously in a bad form, and whenever bad form happened, Willian played amazing. He scored some decent free kicks. He worked hard. He ran a lot, and he really showed that passion that Chelsea needed. So he's definitely could fit in the squad. Now next player is also connected, and he's from Serie A. Now I think Conte is usually going to sign the player from Serie A, since he used to, you know, manage Italy and Juventus. So I think Nainggolan could definitely be the player. I've seen a lot of news that Nainggolan is connected with Chelsea, so I definitely see a good possibility of Nainggolan coming to Chelsea as well. But moving on the other centre mid position, we're going to have Cesc Fabregas. Now obviously Cesc Fabregas, again, not the best performing, but you know, he still played decent for Chelsea last season. He wasn't the worst player, one of the worst players who played. So I guess Fabregas, you know, he's getting his form back. He's getting some assists and stuff. So I guess Fabregas could definitely work very well for Chelsea next season as well. So for the next centre mid, now this of course depends on if Matic is going to leave. If Matic is going to stay, I would put Matic here. But if Matic doesn't go, then I mean, if Matic goes, then we're going to put Kante in here, because I think Kante is also connected with Chelsea, even though, to be honest, like, I'm adding him to the squad, but I don't really see a very high possibility of him coming to Chelsea, since obviously Leicester won the league. Vardy is connected with Arsenal, Mahrez is connected with few clubs, Kante is connected with PSG. I'm not sure if Kante is going to come to Chelsea. He may go to the French clubs, I'm not too sure. But we're going to move on to the left back, and as I said, there's only one player, Azpilicueta. He's a natural right back, but I think he's going to stick. Whoa, apparently I still got him in the squad. That's amazing. So apparently Azpilicueta is a very good player. Azpilicueta is a very good player, and you know, very solid, works hard. One of the best performing players of Chelsea last season as well, even though he wasn't on his best. On the right back, this is again a player that is connected with Chelsea, and it is Stefan Lichtsteiner. Now obviously he's getting a bit old, but oh, I got him in the squad as well. Amazing. So he's obviously switching around, does help. Anyway, so Lichtsteiner, obviously a solid player for Juventus, and it does look like Dani Alves is going to go to Juventus. So Lichtsteiner might lose his spot to Dani Alves. So if that's the case, then I see him a very good chance of coming to Chelsea. Now moving on to centre back. The first centre back is going to be Kurt Zouma. Definitely one of the best players who performed for Chelsea last season before he got injured, which is very unfortunate that he got injured, because he was in such good form and then he just got injured, which is a bit of shame. And on to the next centre back, we have got Coulibaly. Now again, there's a lot of news about this guy, a lot of debates about this guy, that if he's going to go to Chelsea or not, or not just Chelsea, is he going to go to any clubs or not? Well, the French connection is good, even though Coulibaly doesn't play for France anymore, if anyone knew that. But anyway, if Chelsea do manage to sign Coulibaly, that's going to be an amazing signing. We just need that solid defense, and with Lichtsteiner and Coulibaly, I guess I really think that is a very good possibility, you know, of making Chelsea a better defense. And moving on to the keeper, we're going to have Courtois. I saw him this morning, Belgium versus Italy. He made some very good saves, even though he did concede two. Courtois is still a very amazing keeper, young potential, what Chelsea need. And then, you know, he kind of pushed Pedro out, even though in my opinion I think Pedro is better than Courtois just for now, but Courtois definitely got the potential to be one of the world's best goalkeeper. So this is the starting 11, and into the subs we go. Now obviously the sub keeper is going to be Begovic. So, you know, some people think that he's not good, but in my opinion he's pretty good. Like, he sometimes makes mistake, like, you know, just unable to punch the ball right, or he just goes out for a corner and then he just misses the ball, for example, and concedes that way. But he made some very solid saves. You know, he was very good in Stoke. So obviously, apparently Begovic might go out and Fraser Forster come in. I'm not too sure if that's going to happen. I think Begovic is going to stay. It's not the position that we need the most. Now, it's moving on. It's for the sub, the bench. Gary Cahill, if I can find him, is obviously going to be in there. You know, I'm not too sure. Miazga, Chelsea signed him, and you know, he's obviously got a good potential. But for Miazga, I think he should go on a loan to one of the Premier League clubs, because he's definitely got potential. But if Chelsea do sign a centre back, then Miazga is not going to have a very good chance of in the starting 11 and having some game time. And since Cahill is going to be in the bench as well, I'm just not too sure if that's going to work out. But moving on, I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he played some few... Ruben Loftus-Cheek played some few games when Fabregas was in a bad form, you know, midway through the season. Oh, there's too many Rubens. If I can find him, Loftus-Cheek, there we go. Bottom 63 rated. He shouldn't be 66 rated. He should be more higher rated. But obviously one of the best youngsters that Chelsea have got, and he's a pretty solid player as well. He's English, which is what we need. Homegrown players is what BPL clubs are looking for right now. Loftus-Cheek is one of them. And you know, if if we can't sign Kante and Matic goes out, maybe Loftus Cheek is gonna have his place as well. But moving on, this player Wallace. Now, to be honest, I've never seen Wallace play. But apparently, oh, that's the wrong Wallace. What am I doing? Apparently, he's one of the best young stars, and you know he's got a lot of potential. I have no idea which Wallace is it. There's so many Wallace. Is it this one? Yes, it is this one. There we go. Chelsea player, Wallace, Brazilian. Apparently, he's got a very good potential. I think I've seen him once. I played with him once back in FIFA 15, but I've never seen him play like in real life in TV. But apparently, he's got a lot of potential. And then, you know, Liechtensteiner is getting old, so maybe Wallace is gonna have his chance in the squad, or maybe Baba could take his place. But Baba's the left back. But moving on, we're gonna have Pedro there. You know, obviously signed for Chelsea, signed from Barcelona. Now he's playing for Chelsea, and you know, I don't think he played bad. He played pretty good. You know, like Pedro was one of the players like Willian. Obviously, weren't as good as Willian, but he obviously showed a lot of passion. He like ran a lot when Hazard was injured, or maybe he was out of the form. Pedro was there, and then you know he made some very positive, good impact. But you know, with Willian and Hazard getting back in form, I think Pedro is gonna be in the bench. Now moving on, there's gonna be it's either gonna be Diego Costa. If Diego Costa doesn't leave, he might go to the bench. And Chelsea is also connected with Batshuayi. I already mentioned him, but I'm not too sure if he's gonna go. Batshuayi is also connected with Tottenham. But I think Bertrand Traoré was in the bench of the Chelsea last season. Bertrand Traoré, there we go, we found him. And you know, he's got a lot of potential as well. No, I saw him, you know, make some decent strikes against Tottenham. He scored some goals, which is exactly what we need. So we've got some youth players that Chelsea could definitely try out. You know, that is gonna be good. And then moving on, up to here. Now, I'm not sure if I should put Mikel or Kennedy there. So Kennedy, I saw him play as a left back a lot, but I don't think he should play left back. He's like more of a winger style. I think he suits more in the winger style, not a left back. He can't play left back. I mean, Azpilicueta is there in the left back. Why would Kennedy be there? And you got Baba as well. He sometimes delivers some decent crosses in, so we'll get Baba in. I don't think Baba is going to leave. It's only his first season, and once again, he's a young player, so he's got a lot of potential. You know, maybe if Azpilicueta gets tired, then Baba could definitely play in that position. And the next player is gonna be Mikel. Now, Mikel there's always news about him that Mikel is gonna leave. The thing is that Mikel never leaves. He stayed for Chelsea for around 10 years or maybe even more, I'm not too sure. But Mikel obviously stayed in the Chelsea for a long time, and I don't think he would really like to leave Chelsea anyway. Anyways guys, this will be end of today's video of who I think is going to leave Chelsea and who I think Chelsea is going to sell, and maybe the bench and the squad prediction. So if you have enjoyed it, please hit the like button, subscribe, and goodbye.